soon, my friend. And though we are oceans apart, it seems you're always there. I'll catch you with a loving glance. We will have another chance, and it's a bitter parting with such sweet sorrow, but I guess we'll be just fine. And I wish us all a fond farewell, but just don't look back in time.
We've had orchestral versions before of our songs, but only in really early on, like 1987 or something, and it was like only a selection of songs. So yeah, it was lovely to reinterpret the new songs.
Personally, I have zero relationship with pop music. It's not that I avoid it, but it's just never been part of my world. So it's been a pleasure with this project because the music is so strong and I find so many classical influences in it. It's nice to approach something new and fresh and to come at it with no preconceived notions of what pop is or should be.
From the firmament, your ideal will come to life.
I think the work for us on this project is hearing what the music is really trying to say, and mostly we are representing kind of the structure and the bones of what's already there in a
You wish for you could be the very best. Put me to the test. Think about it, baby. A lonely voice. Gotta cry for Judgment Day.
I have to say it's a really good exercise for me, listening to the tracks in a completely different way, and you're trying to change your voice as well, so doesn't sound exactly the same as the original one.
Rumors grow from nothing like a whisper in the crowd. Stars, they will collide. Lovers will abide.
They brought such an almost context to the songs. It's almost like they've kind of like created a place for them. It's like it's the scene of where it should be set. So it makes you think of, well, what story are you actually telling within the song, within each song?
In fact, there is a lot of layout on the tracks. In pop music, it's always big production, so there's like a lot of voice. There is some logic on the melody also, so just find a good way for each person to have a good proposition for each line.
And what we've had to do is kind of listen to each line separately and then represent these layers in a coherent way. You can think of it as like layers of paint.
I've missed Vince being here because we created the songs, we wrote the songs together, and then when you're hearing the violins playing his parts, or an amalgamation of parts, it kind of makes you really appreciate what he did in the first place with all the different lines. I think he would have enjoyed it, but he would have wanted to put a synth.
Want to be in the witness protection program. I don't like what we've been.
You are quite naked when you're standing on the mic. I think it's maybe to do with the intimacy of the project. I just feel like when you're really centered and kind of calm, you don't have to make conversation because other people are there. You can still be quiet and stuff, and I think it really helps, like, for a project like this.
And it seems to me it's the way it's gonna be. No one out there wants to see the things I've seen.
And it's completely different from being a pop star where you're supposed to go and be all flashy and go to big parties and things like that. I think after a while, I just kind of like to lead a pretty quiet existence.
He is a little bit of a quiet guy, his real person, and I just thought it was amazing in rehearsal where he would go from this kind of reserved way of being to he would start singing and just the world would open up.
For me, the best moment were the first rehearsals, when we were in a little room and Andy was in the middle, and we just feel that, wow, it's amazing sound.
We unbuckled the genie, living our fantasies, fell for the propaganda badly. Oh, what a world.
We just had 48 shows last year, so my voice was kind of quite warmed up. But then as soon as you stop singing for like 3 weeks, it goes back to normal quite quickly. So doing like something like this, I'm really glad that we had those rehearsal days, the 4 rehearsal days, because it gets you back into the swing of singing again, and it makes it easier for you in the studio.
We crossed our hearts and never hoped to lie. All the ghosts along the Castro were just walking by.
Through interaction with him, we were able to refine more of the sound and kind of create a new band sound. I mean, I think part of the idea of rehearsing together for 5 days was to create a band and then to record that work.
Dying on the steps of City Hall, they turned our love and turned their backs and left us to a sheer attack. And I'm not really pleased at that, and still
Initially, we were worried that we wouldn't have enough freedom and that we would wind up just doing straight covers and there wouldn't be any new substance. And then
We had a lot of freedom.
100%.
100%, yes.
It's exciting also because this is a new album. It's one that hasn't been out that long. So this reinterpretation will come out very shortly after the original came out, which I think is quite rare.
No, I mean, I think they've been amazing. It's been such a good experience for me here doing this, and I've learnt really a lot.